Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, January the 22nd. Good to have you with us today. We have a very sweet program. We're going to talk about maple syrup. I've got a couple of maple syrup guys with us here today. Good to have you. We've got John STOLWYK and CLYDE BENTLEY.
Yeah.
And you guys tap maple trees in central Missouri and make your own maple syrup, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that the United States and Korea are the only countries that do this?
Canada.
And Canada.
Canada.
The only ones that do this.
Yes, and Koreans just drink the sap like Gatorade.
Really? But you do it for maple syrup. Well, how'd you get started on this?
Well, my in-laws have a farm near Jefferson City, and it happens to have a high concentration of sugar maple trees, about 200 of them on a 20-acre parcel.
Yeah.
And it was just begging for the exploitation. And so we tapped trees about 7 years ago, and we've been doing it ever since.
All right. Now, you brought some pictures along. For folks watching on television or on the internet, you can see, but we'll describe for you on the radio. Maple syrup now from Boone County. That was a headline, right?
Yes.
That was a 1912 Columbia Missourian article about the demise of the syrup industry because of land clearing and
the price of white sugar.
Yeah.
They made it used to be that white sugar was very expensive. Most of it had to come from Cuba.
Yeah.
And so the farmers here would make their own sugar from the maple.
Now, here, we've got a picture. Here's a tap in the maple tree. You just hammer it in there, or do you drill it in?
Drill a small hole about 5/16 inches in diameter.
And then you put this little plastic tap in. You connect a hose to it. The next picture is there. And you've got these blue bags.
Yeah, CLYDE uses buckets, and we hang bags on our trees. And it's the same principle. The plastic spile is placed into the hole in the tree.
And it just fills up with sap.
Fills up with sap.
Does it come out fast like it's a faucet or drip out?
It's mostly a drip. There are some days it'll come out and it'll fill a 5-gallon bucket in 8 or 10 hours.
Does it make a difference what the temperature is when you do it?
Yes. The best time of year is coming up right now in late January in Missouri when the nights are below freezing and the days are above freezing.
Now, we've got, what is this, a boiler?
Yeah, that's our evaporator. We built a concrete block base, and we have some large stainless steel flat pans that we build a wood fire underneath and boil the heck out of it.
And that's how you make the syrup then? You boil the sap until it's reduced down to syrup.
Yes,
Right.
And there's a finishing process that involves filtering and bottling, but that's, in essence, we are boiling water.
Yeah.
But it takes 40 gallons of sap to get 1 gallon of syrup. So
40 gallons of sap?
So you're boiling. I mean, for me, it's a chance to get out in the winter and poke sticks in a fire.
And now we had a picture of those syrup bottles that are all filled up with wonderful sweet syrup.
Those are mine.
Yeah. So you don't sell this. You just give it away to friends and neighbors.
I've been trying to build a network of syrup makers around the state, and I've found a few that sell. There's a fellow over in Callaway County that sells. There's a few in southeast Missouri that sell. But most of the syrup making is hobbyist.
Now, if people want to find out more about this, they can go to your website.
Yeah, www.mosyrup.com, and I have links to a variety of sites that'll help people gain understanding on how it's done. I have pictures and profiles of some Missouri syrup makers on there as well.
Right.
And by the way, you could do this if you had, I only tap 8 trees. So you can do it with a very few trees in your yard.
Okay, but just go to www.mosyrup.com for more information. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. Pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
All right, we go from talking about syrup to foster families. And I want to introduce you to AUBREY ASH, who is with us from Coyote Hill Foster Care Service. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, when we think of Coyote Hill, we think of the kids living there and foster parents living at Coyote Hill with the children, right?
Absolutely, yes.
But you're starting something new now.
We are, and I'm so excited. We've had the children's home for 29 years in Harrisburg, Missouri.
It's been 29 years?
29 years, 1991. Larry McDaniel, the founder, created it, and we've served over 500 children during that time.
Yeah, and you
So it's
started out with
wonderful.
just one
Yes,
home,
one
right?
home, yes.
And how many do you have now?
We have 5 now with children in them, and we're building a 6th, so it should be open this summer, hopefully, yeah.
But what you're hoping to do now is train parents to foster children in their own home.
Yes, so there's a great need. We're losing foster families every year, a great number in Missouri, and there's just not enough. And so we want to branch out, and we're going to call our model branches, and we are recruiting right now and training and licensing individual homes in Columbia and the surrounding communities.
So if someone wants to become a foster parent, what is it? What procedure do they have to go through?
Well, we are giving the state training. The state mandates what's called STARS training, and we have our trainers that will train families in that. So they have to go through that STARS training, background checks, of course, and we are actually adding another layer of training that is called TBRI, Trust-Based Relational Interventions. And it's a model out of Texas Christian University. It really explains what trauma does to a body and how we might react. So it helps foster parents understand. If you're seeing behaviors from a child, this is why, but then gives them tools. So instead of saying, well, maybe this child just doesn't want to, X, Y, or Z, maybe they can't. And so we're adding that extra layer of training to help support and prepare our foster parents.
What is the average length of time that a foster child will stay with a foster parent?
It greatly depends on the state, the situation, the family they might have. I would say the average is probably around 2 years. But again, there are some emergency placements where we need foster parents who would take maybe a kid or two for a weekend while the Children's Vision can find grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle to take them.
And then when the child is staying with the foster parent, say for a year or two, they're living just like they're going to school.
Absolutely, yes.
The foster parents take them on vacation with them.
Right. We want them to feel that way.
Yes,
We are part of
yes.
our family. Absolutely.
Okay, and
Yes,
and that takes a special type of person
It
too
does, yes.
to become a foster parent.
Yes.
If people want to sign up for this or they want more information, volunteer, what do they do?
Yes. So we have our website, coyotehill.org. There's a form on there they can fill out. Our events are on Facebook. They can go to our Facebook page, and they can email me at aubrey@coyotehill.org.
Okay.
Lots of ways.
So the website again is?
coyotehill.org.
All right. Aubrey, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
by.
Thank you so much.
Continue the good work.
We will.
I know it's done with a passion.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
And please come back again.
I will.
All right. We're out of time for today. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, if there's something you'd like to hear or see. Bye-bye.